How's it going, you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs, and I want to walk you through my DIY electrical kit. Now, this is something I've been building out for years and years. It's just a Milwaukee pack-out low-profile organizer, but the primary focus of this is I wanted the supplies on hand to accomplish 90% of the jobs I do around the house for DIY residential electrical. So let's jump into it. We'll run through everything that's made it into the kit, but also let me know down in the comments, what am I missing? If I see anything that's really repeatedly coming up, I'll bring that back up into a pinned comment for everybody else's benefit so they can decide, is that something that they would want to add to their own personalized kit as well. Starting off in the upper left-hand corner, I have an assortment of wire nuts. Wire nuts are not my go-to in terms of wire connectors, but I will use some of these larger wire nuts if I have a 4-gang electrical box. I need to bring a bunch of neutrals or grounds together. I also have an alternative to this that I am starting to prefer. The Wago lever nut 222. Now, this was the original lever nut from Wago. That is my favorite brand, but it does not have the clear housing. So I'm not using this as my default, but I still am working down my old supply. Grounding screws. So if you have a metal junction box or a metal box and you need to go ahead and install a ground to that, having that screw, which will thread right in, is handy. Even better than that is a pre-made pigtail. So I have a bunch of these pre-made pigtails. They have the screw right there, the J-hook already, and then the pigtail. So I have a ton of these, and that's my go-to when I need to ground a metal box. Last thing is a clip. So if you have an old metal box, it does not have the threaded hole for your grounding screw. You can use one of these clips and make sure you have the box grounded. Now moving over, I do have red and white electrical tape. This is 3M. I do think it matters which tape you get, and 3M is going to be your best. Now, I carry a standard roll of black Super 33 in my tool belt. That's why you don't see it in the kit. And then starting with the first Wago 221 lever nut, these are bigger. These are the 613, and I have these because they can take 10 gauge wire while your normal Wagos can only take 12 gauge wire. So I don't need them for all my applications, but they are very handy to have for anything where you're running 10 gauge wire. And then going on to these middle bins here, this kind of wire and cable routing. So we have Romex staples. This is going to work for all your 14 and 12 gauge Romex. And then the smaller single nail staple, this would be for like coax cable if you're trying to control your routing. Then going over, we have some Wago push-in connectors. Now this would be a 5-wire push-in, but they go all the way up to 8-wire push-in. This was that alternative that I've turned to from the massive wire or wing nut. Now if I have neutrals or grounds, I just bring all those in. If I have, let's say, 5 or 6 of those, and it's just much more compact and takes up a lot less room in the box. So this is what I'm using these for. The push-ins I don't use for heavy loads. So if I have solid core wire and a light load, I'll also use some of these smaller push-ins. Then for your metal boxes, predominantly I have my 3/8 clamps here to run in the side of a box and control Romex coming in to make sure that it does not get damaged through the side of the box. But I will carry a few 3/4 inch for the larger gauge wires coming in addition to a few of the plastic ones depending on my needs. And then going to the bottom, and this is really what I use the most of. So we got 2-wire, 3-wire, 5-wire, and an inline splice here. These are all going up to 12 gauge. So this would be a Wago 221, specifically a 412, a 413, a 415, and this is their 2401. Again, that's just an inline splice. Comes in handy, especially in like your panels if you need to extend out a conductor. These are great to extend out conductors and have a nice compact package there. Now, I just buy in bulk and then refill these. Like I just bought some more 415s to refuel this bin, but you can get an assortment if you're just kicking off your kit, and you'll see a link in the description over to our Amazon store where you'll see all those different combinations if you're interested to try them out. Then the last thing we have is just a strip of spacers. These are made for spacing light switches and outlets. When you have a little bit of a recessed outlet or light switch, you can put these on the top and bottom of your mounting screws, and then that's going to space it out to make sure that you do not have a recessed outlet, and it just makes for an overall more fit and finish installation. So let me know what you guys think. I always love getting your comments, and again, if there's any commonality, I'll pin that right below the video for your reference. Now, if you want to see some of these parts in a classic application, and that is getting an outlet where we currently do not have one. Maybe you want to get the TV cord out of the way, or maybe you just want an outlet behind a piece of furniture that you have in place right now. Well, usually that turned into drywall work or going up in the attic or going down in the crawl space. It doesn't have to. There is actually a way you can do that staying within the room, not doing any drywall work and not doing any painting. So check out this video right here. I'll walk you through the complete process, and you might be surprised on how easy it is. So thanks for joining me in this video, and we'll catch you on that next one. Take care.